On? Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Kelly. We're ready to start the show and I want to welcome you and thank you for tuning in to Mastering a Charmed Life. Thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. I'm really excited. I am Kelly McClure. This is Mastering a Charmed Life. And I just thought it would be a really fun show to do to share with you my experience on how I created out of a muck a really, really charmed life. Welcome to the show. I am Kelly McClure, spiritual and emotional coach. A lot of you guys might know me as a psychic medium. This venue, however, we're going to take a completely different sort of twist on everything and approach it really, really differently. So, you might know me from Facebook or from my website or from doing events or even having readings, but there's so much more to what I do and what I want to share with you guys. So just so you know, this is being live streamed on Facebook. It's being live streamed on YouTube, but it is also being aired on KP Media TV. KP Media TV is a wonderful new network. So if you not only are seeing this show on that, you might want to see check out some other shows on KP Media TV. So thanks for being here. I'm Kelly. I believe that I've mastered the extraordinary life in the way that I want it to be, in spite of unspeakable challenges. And I know you guys are probably going through a lot, and that's kind of why I wanted to do this. So there's a lot of people on Facebook Live saying hi. Hi, guys. We're going to have, at the end of our segment here, time for questions and answers, but just know that I see you and I love you, and thank you for joining us today. The focus of this show, rather than being the psychic, we're not going to be doing readings or anything like that. The focus on this show is all about self-love, healing, empowerment. It's about self-awareness. It's about helping others, and it's about manifesting everything you want in order to create the extraordinary life and the charmed life that you want to live. It's about finding the magic in the universe to help you do that, because if you learn to channel and really hone the magic and the wisdom of the universe, they can listen. 90% of the work will be done for you. So all you need to do is your little part, let the universe help you out with the rest. And that's what I really, really want to convey to you. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be emotion-free. You don't have to be healed completely. You don't have to, none of it. You can have everything you want wherever you're at, and wherever you're at emotionally and personally. It's about finding the magic. It's also about community, coming together and like being together and supporting each other, because honestly, think about it. If we were meant to do this alone, we'd each have our own planet to do it on. So hi, Barbara and Jessica. Those of you on YouTube and those of you who are that streaming through other avenues might not see the feed. So just know I'm not talking to myself. If I'm talking to people, I'm just saying hello to people who are coming on the feed. All right, you guys. So it's going to be fun to hear what your thoughts are about what is a charmed life and what it is you guys want to create in your life. And so you can give some feedback about that. For instance, let's say you want a certain relationship and you haven't been able to make it happen. It is absolutely possible. And, throughout this whole journey with us together, we're going to figure out how to make that happen. But you can add those, let's be a community of support for each other. And I want to hear your stories too. So charmed life to me it's just sweet and dear and magical and perfect and full of gratitude and really living every day to your fullest, having everything you want, but also giving everything you want. There's a mentality that I feel that I have I guess, a principle of the universe that says there can be a win-win here. And I think that we just have gotten wrapped up in our society and wrapped up in this world to where in order to have what I want, you have to not have what you want. And that's just not true. There's plenty for everybody. It can be a win-win. I can have what I want, and I want for you what you want. And my goal, my encouragement to you is I would like to give as much as I can to you and still have what I want, rather than let me see what I can take from you to get what I want. Just not necessary. A win-win can happen. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Shannon. Okay, thank you. So last night we did an event at Finch. Shannon's mentioning that she was there and that she emailed us about that event. And what that is a seminar that I do with people in the audience. And I do about once a month. It's been kind of limited because of COVID, but we're back now. And we're going to do it in the safest way possible that we can. And we're going to kind of honor all the protocol for that. But Finch was really fun last night. So thank you guys for being there. I also want to help you understand how you can allow the entire universe to help you create the life that you want, the charmed life that you want. So if you really understand how to work the principles of the universe, there is no lack of help and talent in the universe. You know, the universe, in my opinion, has more spiritual energy and talent than we do on earth. So it can help you with everything that you want. And if you believe and you learn how to tap into that source, and I'm not talking necessarily about religion or prayer or meditation or certain things that you feel that if those are the things that call out to you to tap into it, great. But the universe can line up completely. All it wants to do is give you what you want. The whole universe is lined up to do that. Think about this. The trees and the flowers and the grass, they don't struggle to grow and become their fullest self. Given everything they need, they automatically do it. And they do it through this energy and this consciousness of the planet that is beyond our comprehension. But given everything they need, they do what they came here to do. And that's to grow and provide. And that's all the universe wants to do. It wants to help you do that too. Given everything that we need, we will grow and provide. And what that means is not only living a charmed life and having everything we want, but being able to share that with the world and going out there and sharing your energy and your life force and your personality and your special gifts and all your uniqueness of you. There's 7.5 billion people on this planet. Each and every one of us are unique. We're different in some way, and we came here to do something different on this planet. It's amazing. I mean, this is incredible stuff, you guys. We're going to have so much fun on this journey. So what a charmed life is not, it's not hard. It's not difficult. It's not a struggle. It may be emotional. It may be painful at times, but I heard a beautiful person tell me one time, and I don't know who this was, don't know who to give this credit for, to tell me that pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. And the difference is that, yeah, we're all going to go through pain. And we're going to talk a little bit later about some of the pain that I've been through lately. And I know that you guys have been through everybody's going through a lot of pain right now. And the difference between pain and suffering is that suffering is a resistance to pain. It's what happens when we resist pain. And what I mean by that is that some of the work I do, which I'm sure we'll talk about in the coming weeks and months and doing this show, is an emotional release process. And that really moves through the pain very, very quickly so we can get past it, so we don't step into suffering. Suffering is, I don't want to feel, and so therefore my life is just going to be depressing and dull and painful, suffering the whole way. But everybody's going to experience pain. That's part of life. I mean, think about the most amazing and blessed events in life, birth and death, most natural, inevitable, and most blessing. And both of those things are extremely painful. But look what it leads to. It leads to spirituality. It leads to a life full. It leads to loss and love and all kinds of things. And yes, they're painful, but it's when we resist pain and we're unwilling to move through it and unwilling to process it and face it that leads to suffering. So one of the things that a charmed life is, there may be times of pain. And the charming part of it is that you can call a friend, sit down, move through it, talk about it, deal with it, move past it, learn from it, treasure it, and understand that it's there for a reason. So then it enriches your life. You're a different person. You're better for it. There's a blessing out of it. You know something you didn't know before. That's all charming. What else is it? It's when we struggle, it's because we're rowing upstream, not down. So the whole universe wants to help you. I know that you guys have heard the phrase, maybe many of you, everything I needed to know I learned in kindergarten. I do a whole segment. I think there's a whole podcast that I've done about the song Row, Row, Row Your Boat. So if you haven't heard my podcast, go to Super Fun Spirit Experience, Kelly McClure. You can find my podcast anywhere they show podcasts. I'm on Podbean, Google Play, iTunes. And there's a segment I think it's called Row, Row. Now, I didn't write the song, and I didn't even write the metaphysical meaning of the song, but it's really fun to review that. So that's kind of cool as well. Listen, those lower vibrations that we go through, that we keep ourselves in, guilt, remorse, resentment, shame, fear, all of those lower level vibrations keep us from living the charmed life. So that's not the charmed life. We need to move through those vibrations so we can get to where we can conceive the magic, create the magic, work the magic. And we have to heal from those things. And I'm not saying don't feel them, but move through them. This isn't about being right or wrong. This is about what is and what you want. And is it working? And let's move through it. What else? This is, I know, I dated a guy a long time ago, and he would talk about how this is a dog-eat-dog world. And there was such a sense of competition and such a sense of the only way I can have what I want is to make sure that this other person doesn't. That's not a charmed life. I didn't feel he was at peace. I didn't feel that he was in harmony with his life around him and everything, his gifts and he was smart. He was gifted. He was good looking. He was talented. He was in shape. He was, everything you can imagine would be a starting point for creating everything you want. But because he had this one mentality, dog eat dog world, he was opposition from all those around. And when you're in opposition, you're saying no to your outside forces. You're not saying yes. You're not saying yes into harmony. You're not saying yes to the world. You're not saying yes to a charmed life. So that's what it's not. It's not all of that fear-based stuff. And we'll talk more and more about this. I want you guys to stay tuned because this is an hour segment, but there's so much to talk about. And I want to explain what we're going to be doing on this show. This is just really an introduction. But some of the stuff we're going to be doing is so much fun, and you are not going to want to miss it. So I'm just sort of explaining now what the goal of this show is, really to help you find and help you learn how to work the magic, to really, really embrace the most energetic and magical way that you can create your own charmed life the way you want to do it. And it's not about what I want for you. What I want for you is joy, happiness, and all the vibrations. What do you want? You might want, to travel. You might want to have a huge family. Might want to be financially free. You might want to create a perfect relationship. I'm not here to tell you what you should have. Everything that you should have, though, is available to you, and you can create it. And that's what we want to do. That's why we're doing this show. It's going to be so much fun. Oh my gosh. We have segments planned with the most amazing people. Some of them you can, again, on the podcast, we've already interviewed them, but the potential they have to add to this show and this segment and what they've created and their energy and their wisdom. You don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss this, guys. So the reason I'm doing this show is because, listen, to be real, and this is going to get real, this show, this is not always going to be pretty. It's not always going to be like my hair all done, which I think turned out really nice tonight. Because guess what, guys? This is a background I chose because guess what? That's what I'm creating. About halfway there. My pool and jacuzzi are pretty fucking amazing, but this is awesome. So I guess it's still daytime technically, but my show is about being vulnerable, being real, being raw. I'm going to pull out my cell phone and I'm going to record myself and I'm going to share with you guys moments of my life that aren't going to look pretty and aren't going to be perfect. And I feel like I want to share that with you because I've been going through a lot the last 2 years. And there were times I just wanted to give up. It's really been more like 3.5, 4 years. Has been a big struggle. And what happened is my mom reached a place in her life where she needed some real help. Where I work full time, my other siblings were unavailable, and it was kind of like I either step in and try to help her, or someone's going to call Adult Protective Services. Like she was living not well and not in a place that you want to see your mom or dad living. So I was able to have some friends who had some resources, and we stepped in. I took her out of her home. We rehabbed her house. We put it on the market. I moved her near me. And I realized at that point that her illness had brought her to a place where she psychologically and emotionally and physically was beyond what I could do, like beyond my pay grade. But I tried my best. And it began to diminish my own energy. And I'm sure in the future, we'll talk a lot more about that, because when you start creating a charmed life, you're going to have boundaries that you can't even imagine right now. Like the only way to create your vision and what you want is to make sure that nobody sabotages it. So it was difficult, really difficult. My relationship with her was different than it had ever been before. I don't know that I ever learned how to create a relationship with her that was healthy. So it was very, very difficult. It became increasingly difficult as her illness progressed and her age progressed. So she passed a few weeks ago. She passed June 29th. And honestly, you guys, I love my mom, but I thought I'd be relieved because of how difficult it was for me to try to do for her what she needed or wanted. And I guess maybe there was a part of me that was relieved, but it hit me. It hit me intensely. And I sunk into a really, really low place and a really deep depression. And it was very, very difficult to get out of it. It was very hard for me to work. Anyone out there whose appointments we canceled, I'm so sorry, but I just hope you understand. And I've received so much love and support from my clients and my followers because of this, but it took me down really big. I've already lost my father. I have a wonderful, beautiful, amazing stepmother still alive, thank God. And she seems to be healthy and well. But losing both parents was just really hard. And then a couple of weeks ago, I lost one of my dearest friends on the whole planet. Hi, Barbara, Monique. Thank you, guys. I lost one of my dearest friends. It's hard to explain how special this relationship was. We were like, I would consider him the male version of me. And I always tell people, like, I have so much fun in my life and I love myself so much that if I ever met myself, I think we'd be best friends. Like, Kelly, you're here. Hi, come, let's go do stuff. He was like that. He was like the male version of me. We were soulmates. We could talk about anything. We hung out. I went over to, he's from Wales, in Great Britain. I went over there and spent months over there. He came over here and spent months with me, and we would be around each other 24 hours a day for weeks on end. And it was just such a crazy, amazing, wonderful, loving, insightful, psychic, intuitive, heartfelt man. He was my best. He was just the best in the whole world. If you've never met Martin Kerwin, you can't possibly know what I'm talking about, but he was amazing. And he died I think he was in his early 60s. I'm not quite sure. I have no idea how he died. Because of COVID, I'm not able to travel over to his funeral or services, so I'm not able to be with his family. It's heart-wrenching. I've been through that. And then there's all these other little things in between. My cat, we rescued this cat. Now we find out that she's in jeopardy. Just family drama. I have relationship issues with my family where I've actually had to cut people out. I got a little baby nephew who's having surgery to save his life next month. He needs a kidney transplant in September. There's so much going on, you guys, and I'll share more of myself with you, and we'll go through a lot more of this. And a lot of it is I want to hear your stories too, because I'm not unique. We're all having experiences here. I fully acknowledge that. But because of the principles I believe in with a charmed life and magic and universe helping and moving through these emotional issues and moving through the pain, I can still live a charmed life, even if I'm hurting, even if I'm sad, even if I'm emotional. I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm just not going to let it stop me. And we can become unstoppable. And even in the midst of depression, I mean, there are days that all I can do. Here's a little trick, though, if you're going through depression. Just for fun, I'm going to share this with you now. And I'm sure we'll do segments on this later, whatever. But one of the things I do when I'm feeling so depressed that I don't even want to get out of bed is I just say a little prayer, little meditation of okay, I get that depression is real, but it doesn't define me. So what can I do? And I go, okay, here's what I'm going to do. And I ask God, angels, I call them they, whatever you believe in, that's spiritual, that's beyond, whatever you can grab on to imagine that there's at least something beyond yourself that can help you. This is going to be huge in creating a charmed life because there's so much help out there. But if you can just grab on the idea that there might be one entity, one angel, one spiritual force out there that's on your side. Okay, so what do I do? And I heard the words, just pull back the covers and I'll do the rest. Okay, I'm just going to pull back the covers. Then now what do I do? Just slide your foot out and put it on the floor and I'll do the rest. Okay, so I can do that. No matter how depressed I am, I can slide my foot out and put it on the floor. Did that. Now what do I do? Just slide your other foot out and I'll do the rest. And literally, I baby step and it even said, just sit up on the edge of the bed and I'll do the rest. I could sit, I go, I can do that. I don't think that I can run my entire life, but I can sit up, sat up. Next thing I know, I'm in the shower. Next thing I know, I'm drying myself off, and I'm like, how did this happen after days of not being able to get out of bed because of depression? And you guys, I have been through it so many times, bouts of depression for days where I didn't even feel like I could get out of bed. So I am not discounting your experience if you are in that space or have been. I'm just sharing with you what worked for me and what helped, in the hope that it can offer you hope and faith and guidance and help. But that is literally how I remember one time I had to get out of bed and get in the shower. And once I was clean, and once, I had clean clothes on, I came downstairs and was out of my bedroom talking to people. It was amazing. That was my beginning of getting out of that bout of depression. So there's going to be lots of stuff we're going to talk about, because I think you guys are going through so much right now, and I can feel the energy all over the universe. You might be going through more than I've ever been through. You might be going through same as what I've been through, but I'm going to keep it real, and I'm not completely out of it yet. I'm taking it day by day, and I'm going to share that journey with you. I'm going to show you my ugly, true, everything self, and I'm going to share it with you. And I'm going to do it for real. And I know that we watch TV and everybody looks perfect and they're all like happy all the time. You're going to see times where I am not happy. I'm bummed, or I'm stuck, or I'm full, or I'm fat, or I'm lazy, or whatever the fuck. But I'm going to be real with you. That's what this is all about. Because if I can do it, you can do it. So people are kind of streaming, yes, the get out of bed thing. Tired of fighting, Denise says. Hugs from Monique. Thank you so much. Someone says, Denise says, one can't compare. They are individual. Everybody's individual. Yeah, absolutely. Can't compare, but sometimes can relate. So it's not about comparison. We never want to compare ourselves with other people. But when we share ourselves openly, honestly, and real, we can relate. And then it's like, oh my God, if only I knew that the person I idolized, the person I respected, the person I admired struggled the way I did, or similarly, maybe there's hope for me too. And I have never, ever, ever believed myself to be perfect. I think that's one of the things that I feel like I relate to people so much, because I'm so imperfect, but fun and cool and real. So that's what we're going to do. And it is about baby steps, and it's not about perfection. It's about progress. And it's not about achieving a certain goal. It's about the journey. It's a day-to-day life. That's what living a charmed life is. You can find moments in that day that you can create that can be happy despite what's going on. So I'm committed to keeping it real. I'm committed to keeping it raw and vulnerable. I am filming segments of myself on my phone, sometimes in my worst state. I did a little filming the other day where I was just kind of laying in my bed, trying to get out of bed, going, oh, gosh, I'm tired. I don't sleep well at night. A lot of you light workers out there, this sleep deprivation thing that's going on, it's just debilitating sometimes. When I reviewed the tape and my hair was like up in a bun, it was really fucked up, and I had no makeup on. I looked like a monster. And I'm like, oh God, I promised to keep it real. I'll save this tape, but bloody hell, it looked horrible. So, but that's what we're going to go through together. So you can share with me whatever you want to share with, and I will never judge you. And I'm going to share with you some real shit. It's going to be, that's how you get to the charmed life. You can't do it without being real. You can't do it without being authentic. You can't do it without facing the dirt. That's what creating a charmed life is. So this show is not scripted. It'll never be scripted. We're going to do some fun segments, and I'm going to talk about in a moment. But I'm going to be as real and candid as I possibly can. So let me read a few of your remarks. I apologize if you're on a venue or avenue of this of this show that doesn't have the feed, just know that I'm talking to people on Facebook Live who have a feed. And also, if you know of anybody who maybe they would really like some inspiration from somebody who, I do have a standing in the field that I do, but this isn't necessarily the platform for that. But if you knew my story, if you go to Kelly McClure psychicmedium.com or Psychic Medium Kelly McClure on Facebook, you can read a little bit about my history. You can find out that my childhood, we're writing a whole book about just that because it was so crazy and disturbing and difficult and unthinkable and unspeakable things took place, that some of which I will share and some I won't because of respect for my family, but there's almost nothing that other people haven't. There are a few cases I've heard where the abuse or the neglect or something was so severe that it was beyond what I experienced. But what I experienced alone is pretty typical for a really troubled childhood. So I think that when you hear my story, you'll be able to relate to that. And the idea that what came out of that was a troubled teen. So I had spiritual gifts and psychic gifts. I had learning disabilities, was what the earthlings would say. We'll talk more about that later. I don't interpret it that way now, but it's the opposite side of that gifted coin. Made it really, really difficult for school and just managing the day-to-day demands and issues of life. We're going to talk about, family issues, the separation, the moving around all the time. I think by the time I was 40, even maybe 30, I think when I counted out how many times I'd moved, by the time I was 30 or 31, I think I had moved about 45 times. To date, it's probably, I'm 54, I'll be 55 in September. I think I've moved around 60 times. Just the instability of that. I consider myself, now that I'm being spiritual and living a charmed life, I'm a butterfly and I can move anywhere I want. But at the time, back in the day, that was a struggle, and it was hard to imagine being stable if you're moving around every 6 months. So there was that. There was this idea that my brain functions really different than what was expected of me. And so whatever label you want to put on it, maybe I'm OCD, maybe I'm ADD, maybe I'm bipolar, I don't know, whatever. I don't care what you're going through as far as the label of how your brain works. One principle that I've learned that helped me so much, and what I want to share with you if you are going through something like that, is I finally realized I am designed perfectly. I am designed exactly the way I need to be designed to do what I came here to do. And so are you. And so I don't care what the earthlings call it. It's a perfect design to do what you came here to do. Amy, thank you for sharing your experiences. What have you learned to help so many people, including myself? Thank you, Amy, which I will share. Just stay tuned. Watch the show every week. Valerie's moved 26 times in 26 years. That's about it. It's like once a year or once every 6 months. You're a butterfly. You're not broken. It's just what we do. It's how our soul shares itself with the world. What if that's okay? What if it's not meant that you're unstable or not focused or whatever? Thank you, Denise, for talking about manifesting and also embracing authenticity. It's so important. This is what I'm doing. This is why I want to do this show. I want to get real. I want to show you guys, and for two reasons. One is that I'm still in progress, and I'm coming out of a space of deep depression into knowing the principles of living a charmed life, have lived them for many years. I've created so much magnificent stuff, knowing that in spite of the fact that I was down at my bottom and so depressed, I can still do this. And two, I want to share with you because I want you to share with me, and I want to do it together. And I want us to go like this. Let's pull each other out. Let's bond together. Let's be real with each other in this whole community. We've even got merchandise called Kel's Angels. Like I want to create a community of support. There's a Facebook page, Kel's Angels. You can look at, what's the website for the merchandise?
It's at teespring.com.
Teespring.com.
It's Kel's Collection.
Kel's Collection. Check out the merchandise, but it's about creating a community of support for each other. It's not just me doing this for you, and it's not just me hoping that you'll do something for me. I want us to see this as something we can work together. So thank you, Tracy, for that. We're gonna do this together, and we're gonna do it week by week by week. And there's different ways we're gonna do it. It's not just gonna be me talking on a green screen background the whole time. Next week we might be doing a cooking show. We're going to be so here's how it's going to pan out each month. The plan is that we have 4, sometimes 5 weeks in a month. The 5th week is going to be the wild card, but the first week is a live segment like this. We'll pick a topic. The topics can be healing, mental health, and emotional wellness, finances, health, or relationship. So there's going to be a topic we're going to talk about. You can ask questions. I can give you feedback. We can do bring in experts. We're going to do interviews, people who can actually help us with where we want to go on that. So that's pretty much the first week of the month is a live segment. Then we're going to do a creative segment. So it's action-based. So you'll see me out doing something like, maybe I will do a cooking show and cook a charmed meal, or maybe I'll go out to an event. Maybe I'll do something kind of crazy, physical, like go down a crazy slide I haven't been on a long time. Who knows? But we're going to be very active, and we're going to get out there and do fun things and see how that ties into living a charmed life. You can't live a charmed life if you don't get out and be active and do something and interact with the world and have experiences that are fun and exciting and joyful. And yeah, maybe learning, and maybe we meet certain people, maybe it's that somebody else shows us a crazy friggin' magic show. I don't know. I mean, the ideas in my head are mushrooming about this segment. So it's going to be a very active, creative segment. We might create arts and crafts. Who knows? It's going to be fun. Just stay tuned. The next one is the how-to class. And that's where I'm really going to bring in the experts. I'm really going to be in like things I don't even know how to do that people can come in and teach us how to do, that will enrich our soul, help us live a charmed life, teach us something we never knew before. There's so many people out there. I think one of the most amazing, biggest gifts about COVID is that people are really starting to discover their own gifts. And God, I wish there was a way we could all learn what we're going to learn from this without people having to get sick and die. And that breaks my heart. But the silver lining in all of this is that we're all changing and growing and cocooning and butterflying from this experience. And I want to get out there. I want to find the extraordinary hero, the ordinary hero. In numerology, this time that we're living right now is the time of the ordinary hero. That's where reality shows started and YouTube started, and that lines up perfectly with numerology. The last segment of numerology for whatever years, and I'm not a numbers person, but if you study numerology, it was the hero, the guru. So we got the Oprah Winfrey's, and we got the Wayne Dyers, and we got the Deepak Chopra's, and we got people out there starting to share the message. And now we are moving from the phase, we are out of the guru phase into the ordinary hero. and everybody's getting their YouTube channel and sharing their message and cocooning and blossoming. And it's a time of equality. It's time of us realizing our own equality and going, oh my God, I have something to share too. That's what I want to do. And that's what I want you to do. And we are all equal in this universe. And so we are all heroes. We're heroes of each other, and we're heroes of our families, and we're our children and our parents and our own lives. So that's what's happening right now. And I haven't studied enough into the future. Oh, I think the numerology is fascinating. And I met this woman when I was working at a Unity church. Her name was Gail Minogue, and she was a fantastic numerologist. And I'm going to look and see. But I remember when she said for 16 years it was going to be the time of the ordinary hero. And I'm not really sure when that ends, but now I'm thinking it's probably coming up. And let's see what's next, which I hope is the evolution of the planet and the consciousness of equality. And that's, I think, why we have so much opposition right now. But that's getting into a whole nother stuff. But we'll learn from people like that. Maybe I'll have Gail Minogue on my show. If you have something that you are expert in or really want to come and share on my show, please contact us, because you are the ordinary hero that we need to hear from. So contact my manager, Lisa, or contact us by Facebook on private message. That's a great way to go too. You can email us at whisperfromheaven@gmail.com. But let us know what you're all about. And if you want to be on the show, we'll bring you on the show. And because we all need this from each other. Valerie says she wants to learn more about numerology and life numbers. Yeah, they're very interesting. I'll tell you what I believe about numbers. Love 1111, always a number that I'll always pay attention to. A long time ago, I started seeing that number all the time, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen 1111. And what was interesting was that I eventually went to this metaphysical shop, and this one was in Aliso Viejo. But there was a book called 1111. It was so bizarre. It was like way beyond what I thought, what I was interpreting the number to me. Barbara says she sees 12 to 34 a lot. I see that too. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is divine order, things lining up. 1111, though, there's a whole like cult of people that believe that, I don't know when, maybe this was even before 2011. I'm not sure. But on 1111, at 1111, blah, 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 the vortex is going to open up and people can choose to go to the light. I don't know. It's really weird. That's not what I perceive to be 1111. To me, it's about oneness, unity, signs from the angels, and people coming together. 444 or any number of fours. Angel energy. My address starts with 444. All kinds of cool stuff. Numerology is really interesting. Oh, Valerie says, oh man, 1111, 44 all the time. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Those are the numbers I see a lot. You might wake up at 3:33. I think I do. Oh, she just said, Denise Mooney, 3333 is the latest one. I have a lot of theory about 333 in the morning. So yeah, we're going to have a how-to class. We're going to bring in experts. We're going to interview them. We're going to let them show them our expertise. We're going to learn how to do whatever it is you guys want to learn how to do that will most help you create the life you want, whether it's prayer, meditation, arts and crafts, who knows? So there's so many people out there that know a lot more than me. So let's bring them in. And the last one I really want to do, and I think is super, super important, is personal healing. And that's where we're honest, raw, open, vulnerable. This is where a Sentire can come in. This is where, we can learn to process emotion, but we have to get real with self. There's so many, if you have done everything else to live a charmed life and you're still not doing it, it's not getting you where you want to go. You're doing your affirmations, your positive thinking, your service to others, you're eating healthy, everything you want to do, and you're still not living the charmed life. This may be it, because you cannot ignore your wounds. If you ignore your wounds and you pretend they're not there, they cannot heal. You have to go in and look at them and open them up and clean them out and put everything on them that they need to heal. Just like the body, the soul, the spirit, the personality, you might have wounds that are not healed. And if you ignore them, they will not go away. Hi, mate. These are called feelings, not ignorings. So a lot of the personal healing part of our show is going to be about processing, paying attention to, getting real with, looking at, facing. And I don't mean to dwell. It's the opposite of dwell. It's to go in and emote. You know, the word emotion, it means to emote. It doesn't mean to stuff and ignore and forget. It means to emote. People tell you to let go of it all the time, but they don't tell you how to do that. And we're going to talk about that. How do you let go of the past? How do you let go of wounds? How do you let go of trauma? How do you let go of PTSD? How do you move through that? Believe me, I had PTSD. I've had so much PTSD, so many. You're going to get to know me more and more, and you'll hear about my past, and that's all going to be part of it. And I want to hear about yours. But PTSD is debilitating because every time you come across something that might trigger that, you're re-experiencing that, which was too painful in the beginning to re-experience. I remember pain versus suffering. So if we can move through it in a healthy way, it'll be gone. It'll heal. So we're going to talk about personal healing in all its glory. That'll be the difficult one, but don't miss that one. That'll be the most important thing for you living a charmed life is that segment on personal healing. And we'll talk lots more about that. So this is an invitation from me to you to walk through this journey together. I'm doing it too, you guys. I'm not saying like a lot of these other motivational speakers and very wonderful people who are kind of already did it and they're up there and they're like, hey, here's how I did it and I'm fine now and everything's cool and groovy. No, I'm going through it right now. And you're going to see that raw and real. You're going to see, what I struggle with. You're going to help me through it. I'm going to help you through it. You're going to see what I have to face and the honesty that I have to get real with, the struggles that I still have. And hopefully your support and us doing this together will get us through it. And we will be living exactly the charmed life that we want to do. And that's really why I wanted to do this together. I need you guys. I need you to help me. And there are principles that I know and that I've lived and that work. And I'm going through something right now and I need a little support. So let's work through this together. I love you guys so much. I want to do it with you. And I want you to love me through it. So hi, Madison. I'm just seeing a few people saying hi and just really lovely messages of support and stuff. So I'm going to save a few minutes here at the end so we can have some questions or whatever. Just know that we've created a Facebook page called Mastering the Charmed Life. What's that? Facebook group called Mastering the Charmed Life. And it's a place to hold accountability because action steps can be taken together and you can commit to an action step. You can commit to a prayer or meditation. You can offer support to others of something that worked for you. And so there's stories, support, victories, wins, when we accomplishments and just a way of completely celebrating each other and tears and laughter through it all. And so I thank you guys and it's called Mastering the Charmed Life, right? The Facebook page? Mastering It's
I'll change it.
So the show is called Mastering a Charmed Life. Our Facebook page is called Mastering the Charmed Life, but we're going to change it to Mastering a Charmed Life because it's more dynamic and not static. It's however you want it to be. So, all right, you guys have questions. We have a couple of minutes for questions here, about 10 minutes. So just pop them up and I'll either see them or Lisa, my manager, is here and she'll help me through them. Thank you guys for joining me today. We're going to have so much fun in this, you guys. Share it with everybody. It's what everybody needs. And there's a lot of people out there helping people live their biggest life. But the difference here is I'm doing it with you. We're going to walk through this together. I'm not perfect yet. I'm broken and dismantled and I need your help. So, all right. Oh, bless. Angie says, I love that you're doing this show and creating this community. You're the perfect person for this work. Thank you for sharing your beautiful light. Angie and I have been friends for many years. She knows a lot about my journey. I know hers. I love you so much, Angie. Thank you for sharing that. My little segment isn't moving here. Okay. I mean, say hi. Robin says, hi, Kelly. My girlfriend does cosmic scrapbooking art for healing. What is that? Okay, Robin, we need to know about this. That sounds amazing. Wow, that's fun. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Jessie says, thank you for being so raw. We love you, girl. Oh, thank you, Jessie. I love you too. Yeah, we're going to get raw. Look, I'm all made up right now. Look how cute my hair looks. This is not how you're going to see me all the time. Sometimes I'm a mess and I'm going to get over it. I'm going to videotape myself being myself. And Barbara, I'm so broken. Oh, bless. You know what, Barbara, you're not broken. We're just not broken. We're designed exactly how we're supposed to be designed to do what we came here to do. And when we feel we're broken, it's because we feel like we can't create what we want and that we can't heal what we feel. And both of those we're going to do together. And I promise you, the journey you're going through is going to help so many other people. You're not broken. We're just not broken. We're just sometimes different than what other people are, you know. That's why I call them earthlings. I don't know what we are. We're not exactly aliens, earth angels or light workers or whatever. But yeah, we often feel broken, but you're not. You're all right. You're good. We can get through this together. Okay. Jessie says yes. For Jamie Joe Salazar, we're going to do this together. Hi, Ellen. Nice to see you. How are you? Any other question? Oh, Robin says it look beautiful. Yeah, but wait till you see me at 3 a.m. and can't sleep and going through mind fucking myself all night where I can't get. I'm going to pull out my camera. I'm going to pull out my phone. I'm going to talk to you guys. It's going to get real. You're going to see. I'm done. I'm done hiding. I'm done pretending that I'm okay. I'm not okay. I'm okay, but I'm not okay. But I'm okay. But we're doing good. I can still go in my pool every day. The fact that I can still actually afford to have a home with a pool is a miracle. I mean, in all this, a lot of people are struggling financially and they've had to give up so much. And I really believe it's by the grace of the light that I even can pay my bills. So we're going to learn how to do this together. So thank you guys so much. And Amit says, time for some really good supplement therapy. Okay, well, there you go. I'm going to tell you that a lot light workers like me, a lot of people who are psychic or spiritual or light workers or whatever, we have trouble sleeping. And it's not necessarily something physical, it's sort of something spiritual. And it's kind of like our mind is open up to so many dimensions and there's so much busyness that takes place. Maybe we don't need as much sleep, but it does catch up to us when we're sleep deprived for several days in a row. So maybe please reach out to us, because if you can help me sleep, you can help a ton of people to sleep. So please reach out to us, email us, whisperfromheaven@gmail.com. Put in the subject line, remedies for sleep for Kelly or for light workers or whatever, but I would love to talk to you about it. Okay. Amy says, can you share on tips on loving yourself daily? Let me tell you the biggest tip on loving yourself, you guys. And this is going to blow your mind because it's the most simplest, easiest thing to do. But when you start wrapping your head around it, you're like, What? Oh. Guess what? Self-love is a choice. That's it. It's a decision. It's a choice. Every moment of every day, you have the choice to either judge yourself or love yourself. That's it. You choose. Think about it this way. If you ran across a little scraggly dog, stray, skinny, mange, hair falling out, whatever, you have the choice to look at that dog from a place of fear and go, oh, ugh, I don't want to touch it. It looks, diseased. Oh, you little mongrel. Or you have a place to look at that dog from a place of love and go, oh my God, wow, it needs help. And if you're afraid to touch it, get a towel, wrap it up, take it to the vet, get it some help, take it to the rescue center. You have a choice. And every time that you think about yourself, you have a choice to either judge yourself or love yourself. But it's a choice. Self-acceptance and self-love is a choice that you make every single day, every single minute. That is going to be, and we'll talk lots more about this and how ways you can do this and let go of judgment, because judgment is based on fear. So you have to move through the fear sometimes, but it's a choice. You can decide with your consciousness, and your mind is so powerful that you're going to look at yourself in the mirror and go, you know what? I don't care that I have wrinkles. I just look at my eyes, look at my spirit, look at my soul, look at my body that's been through so much in my life. And yet, you know, if I judge myself because I'm overweight, do I do that to other people? Do I do that to my friends? Do I look at their body and go, you're not worthy of love today because you're overweight? Hell no, I would never do that. Why? It's a choice. I choose to love them because I love them and because they're great, and I choose not to judge them. I can do that for me no matter what I'm going through that day. Thank you. Oh, your dog Tank, Patty. Oh, well, I'm not doing readings right now because this isn't the venue, but listen, animals are always with you. The reason is because I don't think they care whether they're in their physical body or not. They're connected to you on a soul level, so they're always around. I always see animal energy around people. All right, thank you, Amy, for that. So I'm going to wrap up now, you guys. I had a really, really fun night tonight. I hope that you share my show with other people and that you tune in every week. We're going to do amazing topics. We're going to have so much fun. This is a little bit different than our normal Facebook Live video because it's not about the psychic thing and readings, but there's so much more to really embrace about life. And if you want to learn more about my psychic stuff, go to KellyMcClurePsychicMedium.com or Psychic Medium Kelly McClure on Facebook Live or on Facebook. We have lots of pages there. Kel's Angels is a spiritual group that we get together. Again, we've started and that's more about the psychic stuff and the paranormal stuff and all that. And this is more about, like I said, it's about healing, self-love, manifesting, creating the charming life that you want, sharing with each other and support and love to do that. And there's just so much more to you than one facet, and my work as well. So this has been amazing. Thank you guys so much for joining tonight. We'll be back next week. And remember KP Media TV and where they can find it. Amazon Fire, you can find Roku, you can find KP Media TV, Apple TV, and Android TV. See, this is why I have my manager. She's awesome. So share and share and share. We're going to do this together, you guys. We're all in this together. Good night. I love you. Take care. And I'm really excited to do this journey with you too. Bye, guys. Have a good night.